your chance to discuss legal issues, and you won't get a bill. To ask your legal question, call 504-260-1870 or toll-free 866-889-0870. Now, here are your hosts for All Things Legal, Albert Nico and Doug Sunseri of Nico and Sunseri Law Firm.
Hey, we're back. Hour number 2. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nico, your weekend lawyers, All Things Legal. You can also text us at 870-870. You call us with a legal question or text us with a legal question, and we will respond to it. And you will not get a bill, just like Donnie this morning.
Yeah. Donnie had a few questions, didn't he?
Right. He didn't get a bill. And one of his questions, whether he should be billed by his attorney, because this thing's dragging out. So we're not going to bill him on his question on whether he should be billed by his lawyer.
You know, it's interesting. You talk about attorney's fees, and every once in a while, clients will say, well, wait a minute, why did you bill for this? Why did, we had a 10-minute phone call. Why did you bill for that? And, people don't understand, I just wanted a little advice. Well, that's just what I sell. And so if I'm spending 10 minutes at work talking to you on the phone, it's 10 minutes at work that I can't be in court, or I can't be,
or any other
thing that a lawyer does all day. Preparing a motion or responding to a claim, or.
But that's one of the reasons that lawyers are so beloved.
Yeah. Yes.
So.
Right.
All right. Well, let's. But we're really like now because they can call and they're not going to get a bill.
Oh yeah, it's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
That's right.
We do that on Sunday from 8 to 10. Now, Albert, if you'll do it, like if they want to call after the show, I'll give them your cell. Yours extends all day
Sunday.
Call
me at home at midnight if they want.
Okay.
Sure.
And no
I'll be
bill.
happy to.
All right, let's go to Jennifer's got a question regarding suing a mechanic in a small claims court. Hey, Jennifer, you and All Things Legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hey, Jennifer.
How you doing? All right, I had a mechanic that I went to once, and he did a great job. Then my truck died. I had to get another engine.
Mm-hmm.
So he got another engine, put it in. Unfortunately, when they put it in, they broke my AC, they broke the vacuum canister, they broke the vacuum lines, they broke the windshield wipers, and he refused to give me a receipt for the engine.
Okay.
So I'm going to sue for anything above what they did, what they broke.
Right.
Because I wasn't going to get it fixed there. I couldn't trust them. Can I also sue for the engine or part of the engine back, since I have no idea where it came from or how many miles are on it?
Well, I think as part of the suit, you just demand that they produce the receipt in terms of that. I mean, it could have been a rebuild. Who knows where they got it? But, one thing you need to do, in whether it's small claims or the Supreme Court, you need to prove your case. And in order to prove your case, you need to have some sort of expert testimony. So if any you can't just go in and say, oh, look, they broke this, this, and this.
I got 3 mechanics going with me.
Perfect. So that ought to do it. And then, you perhaps, and I don't know if this is the case, but perhaps you can have the mechanic look at the engine and determine that it was in fact rebuilt, that it's not new. Did you buy rebuilt? Did you buy new? Did you?
Well, actually, the consensus between all 3 mechanics was they went to a junkyard, found an engine that ran, didn't check it, and threw it in the truck. Okay.
All right. Well, so all that then you may need to get out of small claims court because it might exceed that amount. But I would talk to the mechanics and make sure you have all your ducks in a row.
Yeah, I've got all the pictures, and we took tons of pictures and photos.
Good.
I've got all receipts.
Great. Well, that's very good.
Sounds like you're doing a good job.
I just wanted to know for the engine itself, since I have no idea how long.
Well, he'd want the engine back, and you're going to have it removed. So, if you get a judgment.
Well, 3 days after we got the truck back, all of the freeze-out plugs came out of the bottom of this new engine, and all the water drained out.
Right.
So,
yeah, I would. You would have to get a value to replace all of that and have everything working again that was no longer working in terms of the air conditioning and the other components. And then once you come up with that dollar amount, sue him for that dollar amount, and he can have his old engine back once they take it out and replace it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. You have a wonderful day.
Right,
Thanks for the call. Let's go to Alan's got a question regarding a notice of judgment. Hey, Alan, you and All Things Legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico.
Yeah, good morning. I have a notice of judgment for divorce, and my wife filed she got use of the property. I moved into another property that we owned, and it says in here that let's see, each party shall be responsible for their own utilities, phone bills, cable, homeowners insurance, and maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Each party shall be responsible for 1/2 of the property taxes due on the former community home and vacant lot. Now, since I have not had access, I mean, she was awarded sole use in June.
Exclusive use.
Yes. Do I have to pay? The way I look at it, I think that I would pay half of the 6 months property taxes. In other words, a quarter for the year. Or would I have to pay half of the taxes for the whole year?
Well,
even though I had no use of it.
I think the judgment has to be more specific, but as a general purpose, if your wife or ex-wife has a exclusive use, she will owe you a rental reimbursement for using.
Well, that was waived.
That was waived? Well, it seemed like you negotiated that right away then. It seems like it was part of a negotiation.
Well, it was recommended by my attorney.
Well, then, whatever's in black and white and you consent judgment, you got to live with it. It sounds like there was some type of consideration given for waiving that right of reimbursement and agreeing to pay half the property taxes. So, typically, you would not unless you negotiate that right away. And apparently, that's some terms and conditions of a settlement, of a much larger settlement. So what you do have to do is you do have to abide by what was negotiated and signed by the court. And so maybe you gave you received certain consideration in return for doing that for her, apparently.
I don't believe. I think can that negotiation go back and be renegotiated?
No, probably not.
Okay.
So it seems like that there was some kind of other consideration or some other reason.
Because I mentioned it to the attorney at that time, and I said that I should only be responsible for a quarter.
Well,
and
right.
He said, well, it's community property.
Right. Well, you would be You see, both parties are responsible for the property taxes. Now, if one pays it, they get a reimbursement of half of it. Now, the way you get, I guess, your money back is if you don't occupy the family residence during the pendency of a divorce, you're entitled to a rental reimbursement from the other spouse. So apparently that was waived for some purpose. For some purpose.
Suggestion of my attorney.
Okay. Well, so you're going to have to abide by whatever y'all negotiated in the consent judgment. All right?
Okay.
Thanks.
Can't be started over then.
Probably not. Probably not. Okay.
Right, thank you.
Thanks, Alan. All right, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nico, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.